Sometimes you got to find your passion. Sometimes you walk headlong into it. But this CTE topic today is so important, and I'm really heartened to hear someone far smarter than myself, Mike Rowe, sort of articulate some of the things that I've been saying for years. And I want to pound on these because I think they bear repeating. I refer to an educational industrial complex to get to the heart of it and to bring home to people just how bad the problem I think has become. We've created a paradigm wherein we define success for young people as a 4-year degree from a liberal arts school and a lot on the corner in a subdivision, and that's wonderful for everybody for whom it's wonderful. But, you know, I think 9% of my high school went on to 4-year colleges, and the guy who I graduated with, who fixes my car, can do things that I could never begin to do. And he, by the way, has a son who's on a full ride to a graduate degree in molecular biology at the University of Notre Dame. So it's not, there's no dishonor in an honorable career. I would contend that every American is entitled to 2 things. Number 1, an opportunity, and number 2, the right to define success for themselves so long as it doesn't impact the liberty of others. And we have painted into a corner the skilled labor that built this nation, and it's tragic. So we have to break that paradigm, and you've done more to do that in the last 6 or 7 years than I may ever do, and I thank you. As it relates to CTE, I know we can do it because I've seen it done here in this country. I recently was in Germany and visited the Bayer Corporation and watched where they had some 200 plus young people straight out of high school who were learning to do things like be lab chemists, like care for animals, physical security, data analysts who came straight out into these fields because the private sector decided that they were going to create the employees that they needed to be successful. BASF, I think, deserves some credit for doing some of that same sort of thing. But we can do more of that. Having said that, you know, as we look to what the paradigm moving forward should be, I would argue that the best arbiter of the needs of the working world are the local communities. In my former job in the Virginia Senate, we saw the community colleges, PVCC, CVCC, Southside Virginia Community College, partner with entities like BWX and Arriva, with UVA Health Systems, and say where are the needs, and then start creating workforce for those needs so we can do this. But sometimes I think when we try to dictate it from on high at a federal level, we just miss the target because we don't know exactly what we ought to be aiming at as well as the state and local folks do. Having said that, I will turn right back around and commend the Old Dominion Job Corps with whom I worked directly. And it was an eye-opening experience when I walked in there a couple years ago and I said, where are you having your best luck placing young people? And these are young people from challenging backgrounds, socioeconomic distress, tough scenarios, single-parent households. And they said, well, we have 16 kids in the machining program, 15 of them are placed. The 16th is a mother who's sick with cancer. He's going to go home and spend some time with her and then pick from a series of job options. I said, what's the average starting hourly? They were in the mid-20s, and the master machinist may very well, at one point, hopefully, live across the street from the doctor and the lawyer and the college professor. But nobody's telling our young people this. So to the extent that we can make an impact by continuing to do what a lot of you, and particularly you, Mr. Rowe, have done, and saying, hey guys, this is an option and there's no shame in it, in fact there's honor in it, we have a duty to do that. So I apologize for having more a soliloquy than a question and answer session, but to the extent that I can lend my voice to the small but hopefully growing chorus, this is a no-brainer. The question then becomes how we best do it, and I would argue we need to listen to the localities and the states about what their needs are in their specific geographical area, and then let employers like BASF and BWX drive the need train. Because what I don't want to do is watch the money be sent from the locality to the federal level and then have the administrative cost of handling money take 40 cents out of every dollar and then power it back down to only create more young people who have skills but not in the area where the demand exists in their communities. So having said that, I'd yield back the balance of my time, but thank you immensely and say that I really look forward to hopefully continuing work in this area. There's a message that's more important really than anything else. And that I think Mr. Rowe hit on, and that is there's no shame in any of this. An honest career in a skilled field is honorable as anything anybody on this dais will do. Thank you.